BMW M4 Competition now completely finished, and I'm about to take it back to the customer's house, put it inside his garage because he's away at the moment, put his car cover on, put his smart charger on, and then that's all done. But I'm sure you'll agree, after a very long process, this is looking rather fantastic. So paint protection is now finished, canards are back on, it's been ceramic coated as well over the PPF in order to give it even more hydrophobics. But yet again, I find myself in a very cool M car. I'm going to go and take it back and take it for a little drive and see what indeed I think of it. We'll catch up in a sec. Okay, so time to get this back to the customer's house and get it tucked away. But I'm excited today because I am a massive fan of the BMW M2, the latest generation of that car. Now for me, that car is one of the best looking M cars to leave the BMW stable in recent years, and I know that the current M2 is based a lot around this iteration of BMW M4. Now I know this is a competition, but the underpinnings of the car are still the same. Now I've looked into it, the new M2 has a shorter wheelbase, but it still has the same suspension, engine and drivetrain and gearbox as this version of M4. So when he said to me, would you mind taking the car over, of course I'm going to jump at that chance. We've obviously finished it and it's nice today. We've picked a day where the roads are dry, it's not raining. This is the perfect opportunity to get this car back to its final destination where it's going to be sitting. What can I tell you? It is absolutely lovely. I've put it into M1 initially. It's already doing the little downshifts on the gearbox for me. Suspension feels absolutely lovely. It just feels a very comfortable, perfect spot to be. Now this car, as you can see in the camera, does have the optional carbon bucket seats. For me, if I was going to get an M2, they'd be 100% on the top of my spec list. And well, people have complaints, right? I've seen some people say they're a little bit unforgiving in the crotch area, but I'm not all that tall and this seat suits me absolutely perfectly. Yeah, it's a nice build. Christ. Wow. That is a fast car. My God. Just literally, just come up to the national speed limit and thought, road's clear. I didn't even have time to talk about it. That is insanely quick and very easy too. But yeah, we've looked after M4s ever since the first gen, and now this is the latest gen. Obviously with the restrictions in noise that you're allowed now from exhaust systems, I understand this car does have some sort of synthetic sound piped into the cabin, because indeed outside the car is quite quiet. Now we've had some M4s in from the previous generation whereby you can't hear yourself think when they start up on cold start, and they do sound really cool. By the time people have put stage 1 maps on, they do a little bit of pop-in and all that malarkey. But I actually like this. Is a completely stock example, no modifications other than visuals. There's carbon fibre on the front end, there's a carbon fibre rear spoiler, there's the canards, etc. But other than that, the engine is completely stock, and it doesn't, and for me, just around here, it doesn't need any power. The map is very enjoyable. It's especially in the M1 mode, you've got power instantly. The gearbox is changing extremely quickly as and when you need it. It's doing everything very promptly. Now I'm not going to bother with M2 over here. The roads are not of the best quality, especially on my destination, so I'll leave it in M1 and see what we think. But so far, what a beautiful place to be. All the carbon fibre. I love the twin colour white and black as well. I think that really does add to the flavour in here, with those beautiful carbon fibre rear bases on those seats, as well as the carbon fibre going through the console, the steering wheel, and all of course the dash inlays as well. Yeah, it is a very, very beautiful place to be. As a first OG M2 has just come shooting up behind me. This isn't the time for those kind of people, because this is not my car, and we are literally just delivering it back and having a chat about it. But yeah, we've been looking after this car for a little over a year now. Unfortunately, the customer had quite a few early on, like a rash of stone chips on the front end, and it was such a shame because the car was brand new to him, and we didn't go down the PPF route because generally BMW paint is of a very, very high standard, and we found with this car that the paint was super soft. That is incredibly responsive. God, it's just so engaging. This is truly beautiful. So where was I? Yeah, we've been looking after this car from new, and as I say, the paint across the front end of the car was woefully thin, and unfortunately what that meant is he was getting very disappointed with the appearance of it. So he came to me before Christmas and said, well, actually a bit earlier than that, it's probably towards the end of September, and he wanted to get a booking in with my paint shop to get the front bumper and the bonnet re-sprayed, and it's not even a year old at this point. So we've done that. Then we had to allow for the paint to gas out, and then it went over to Vision Designs to have a paint protection film installed on the wings, the bonnet, and indeed the bumper. Now that's all done. In between times we then repolished the rest of the car, we've ceramic coated it, and we now ceramic coated the PPF too. So this is as much protection as we can add to a car. There is little else we could do, and I'm now hoping that now that PPF's on there, we're not going to notice those stone chips, because the PPF is there holding a defence layer on all of the front end of the vehicle. We also applied paint protection film, much like they do on the 911s, on those big wide rear quarters, because there's nothing that can be done. It's got a very wide track, this car, massive rear wheels, and it doesn't matter how gently you drive it, you're going to get stone chips. So again, we've added PPF to those rear quarter spats, quite a large size, very similar to how you'd see on a 911 wide body car. But yeah, I don't even want the radio on. It makes the 6-pot turbo noise, as everybody knows. It is a lovely sound. It's not one you would ever get bored of, I don't think. Just the way it's so easy to drive. It just changes gear in a heartbeat. You don't even notice the gear changes. Right up through the box, quickly as possible. And it's really matching my throttle input extremely precisely. So I'm only giving probably 30%, so it's only going to go to sort of 3,500 RPM, and it's changing gears straight away. And that's probably down to being into the M1 mode. Like, I'm not going to have time to play with the other modes today, but what I can tell you is it's matching my driving style perfectly. It's not lagging in gears, so it's now realised that we're going down a hill, we're just on the brakes there, and it's downshifted, but not a crazy amount. We're only at 2,500 RPM, which is absolutely fine. But yeah, it really is a driver's car, 100% it is. It's giving me all the feedback I want from my throttle input and my steering input. I imagine on a track day or the Nuremberg ring, this would be an hell of a car. I would love to get let loose in something with this kind of power around a circuit. You know, you can't enjoy this car really over here. Although it's a beautiful saloon car at the same time, it's not something you can enjoy a third of this power over here on the Isle of Wight. We don't have the roads for it. We we just don't have it. It's just not something you can do. I imagine on the mainland, again, on motorways, it would be an absolute delight. I've got a bit of a clear road now, so I'll give it a squeeze. Okay, so traction control's kicking in, even in 4th gear, just gently dropping up through the revs there. Yeah, it is very impressive. Really impressive. I will say as well, the cabin noise, even at speed, is absolutely zero. It is minimal. A credit to the build of the car. Like literally inside here is like a Range Rover. It is so quiet. You can literally just waft in this car and you can think, because it is just so quiet. There's no road noise to talk of at all, which is incredible when you're considering the size and the width of these wheels that are on this car. Oh, the gearbox is pure delight. Flappy paddle gearboxes, when they're this good, are just... oh, what a sound. The M2 is 75% as good as this. That must be a heck of a car. I'm really interested in having a go in one. The new shape M2. Not really worried about what spec it is at this stage just to have a go in, but I am very keen on at least going and having enjoying one and seeing what that car has to offer. I love the look of the new M2. I was one of the people that was actually a bit of a fan of it when it came out, because it looks so different to everything else BMW produced. That boxy Group A 80s looking touring car, race car, whatever you want to call it, rally car from the era, was kind of really well captured in the shape of the new BMW M2, if you ask me. And I've seen various reviews online, and most people have just said, get over the looks, this is an incredible car. And as with everything BMW, you grow to like them. Like, everyone hated that new front grille. M3 came out, everyone was like, no, BMW, what have you done? Now I don't hear anybody complaining about it. To be fair, it's a beautiful looking car. Does literally just propel you down the road. Yeah, I'm impressed. That is a fantastically rewarding car. I am very impressed. Makes me even more eager to want to go and drive an M2 now. I want to see where the differences are between the 2 and the 4. I know this is a competition and this is high level, high end spec vehicle, but I am very curious now as to see what the M2 has to offer. Right, well, I'm very close to my destination, so I'm going to sign off now, get this car packed away in its garage, ready for when the owner returns back from his work later on in the year, so it's ready for him to enjoy. But yeah, very impressive bit of kit. Big smile on my face. I could very well get used to driving one of these all the time. Stunning. Let's get it packed away.